This video is to show you how to upgrade your stock Dunlop JH-F1 Jimi Hendrix fuzz face with one of 529 Toneworks upgrade circuit boards. First thing you're going to need is a pair of clippers here to cut all of the wire ties. So you want to be careful here not to trim any of the wires. Phillips head screwdriver to remove the circuit board. Take note of the order of the wires, which color wire goes where. This red wire from the battery lead and this black wire from the other end of the battery lead are going to get switched. This is because the silicon Hendrix stock board is a negative ground, and the germanium circuits are a positive ground, which means the polarity of the battery is just reversed. We'll get to that in a moment. So the next thing is to remove the wires from the stock board. I have a 30-watt soldering iron here ready to go. And the trick here is to heat the pad up well first before you start pulling the wire out. And there you go. There's a yellow wire right there. I'm heating up the pad first, and then I'm slowly pulling out the wire. Your circuit board is now removed. You can put that off to the side. As I mentioned before, reverse the polarity of the battery clip. So if you have them, I'd recommend using a small pair of needle nose pliers. And now the battery clip is free. This red wire is now going to go to the input jack. Finally, if we've done our job right, we should be able to just slide those wires back into the new board without having to restrip the wires, and then just solder them back in the order that you saw them originally in. In this spot, we actually have an extra unused hole for an additional ground wire. The 529 boards have 7 holes. The Hendrix boards have 6, as you'll see. So you can just skip over the 3rd hole and go directly to this hole up here where the green wire goes. We talked about needing to reverse the polarity on the battery snap. Last step, let's put the screws back in, attach the ground wire, use some zip ties to tidy up the wiring. There you go. I like to twist the battery leads a little bit. Now that you're set up, bias the circuit board, which a couple tools that you'll need: Phillips head screwdriver, a smaller Phillips head screwdriver, a digital multimeter, and of course your unit. First thing you need to do, take the screws off. And when you look under the circuit board, you'll see that there is a trim pot right here to set the bias. Do is set your multimeter to DC voltage. And you're going to take, in this case I use alligator clips, clip one to the ground wire and the next one to the collector of Q2, the second transistor in the circuit. So that leg right there, closest to you. The last thing I forgot to mention that you need is a guitar cord plugged into the input jack so that the battery is connected to ground and there's power flowing. So once you plug the cable into the input jack, we're now reading voltage in the circuit. Let's adjust the leads. Make sure they're not touching anything else in the pedal. we're sitting around 4.1 volts. Now you want to be properly biased the fuzz face to be around 4.5. So let's stick the screwdriver in here. Tiny little turns make a big difference. And there you are, 4.5 volts. You should now be biased and sounding good.